What's going on, everybody? My name is Paul Mata, owner of PRM BBQ Co, and we are here with Mr. John Shutts of Houma, Louisiana, and he just purchased a 250-gallon smoker. But as you know, this is a new series that we have on our YouTube channel called Meet the Master, where we ask a few questions just to get us to know a little bit more about the pitmaster and just his motivation, what made him decide on a smoker pit, what he likes to cook, and things like that. Mr. John Shutts, why don't you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Hey, I'm John, Houma, Louisiana, Cajun land. Got interested in smoking quite a few years ago, and as I told Paul earlier, quite a few years ago I really got interested in this style of smoking because of the flavor profile. And you've been chasing certain areas trying to make the flavor correct, but you couldn't always find that particular Texas style flavor. So it comes these types of fireboxes and these type of smoker kits that it seems to be, as well as color smokers are, you can't find that flavor profile unless you have this type of equipment. So that's kind of where I came in from the backside after all these years. Certainly meet that profile.
That's great, man. And that's always good to know, because we're always interested in knowing like what everyone's different take is on barbecue, right? Which kind of leads into the first question. And I got them written down here. And the first question I have is what is your barbecue or just cooking history in general? You know, what got you into cooking and wanted to be part of that culinary scene, if you will?
Right. As Paul may know, the name of the kit is Trouvaille, which is a wonderful find, a great find. Kind of interpreted that way. My mother's side of the family comes from cooking history. They own a small little restaurant in Houma, or south of Houma. But my joy of cooking came at a very, very young age, just cooking whatever we could. Started with pancakes and eggs, bacon, and it just kind of progressed from there, and then trying out new ideas. And then about 8 or 10 years ago, I got into the artisan pizza world, which when I built my own pizza oven, wood-fired pizza oven, is kind of what led me segued into these kind of smoker pits because of the pizza world that brought me there. So my culinary world and history, all those little steps kind of brought me to where I am now with a smoker pit of this style. We've always done barbecue, Cajun, we cook, boil, do anything, and eat it. And it's always generally pretty good. But this kind of led me, as I said earlier, to meet that specific flavor profile on protein meat, especially for the long cooks. You can only seem to get it on these style of kits, and the prices is what it's all about.
So it kind of leads into the next question, because you did answer some of that, and this is where a lot of guys tend to see the crutch, right? Or where times it bottlenecks for you. And so the question is, when did you realize you wanted to take the next step? And you answered that by saying how, you got into the cooking, and then you realized that you wanted to get that specific flavor profile. And really, that's kind of that point, right? Because everything in all your experience in cooking, it was always missing that one element.
Correct.
And so this is what drew you into wanting to go to this direction.
This was the direction. As we spoke earlier, I hate to say my age, but as we were growing up at my age, there was either cookbooks, and that was it. Trial by error. You read the information and you tried to replicate it, whether it was barbecue or any other type of cooking from a cookbook. There's no YouTube, there's no following somebody exactly how they did it, and nobody ever mentioned this style of cooking. It was always just over coals, barbecue. And that's what I said earlier. As the social network world came online, you can start seeing it, and seeing is wonderful. You can get a brisket, trim it down to size, put it into a regular barbecue pit, and it tastes good. so you don't know that flavor profile because it tastes really good until, and being a Cajun, this is hard to say, but to do the Texas style smoking, that's the flavor profile that you can only successfully get in this style of cooking.
That's great. So, going into the next question, and this could be just in general, right? What has been the most challenging thing today? Whether it be cooking related, get to this step, or just in general, what's been the most challenging thing right now? A hurricane and a stroke, man. And you know, it's funny. I know that's like touching on a more in-depth personal thing in your life, but thinking about it and the obstacles that you will have to confront in your life, right? You know. Yet John, despite maybe having a little slowdown, didn't stop him, and that's the difference, right? So you take those challenging things, and y'all guys might remember I made some posts about this, but with every obstacle there is a seed of opportunity. You find that seed of opportunity, and you water it, and you fight, and you fight, you know. But we're all going to have challenging things, whether it be things as difficult as that, whether it may be things that you might think are trivial to somebody else, but they're a big deal to you, and you've got to overcome those. But do it in a way that you're going to have, I don't want to necessarily say a successful outcome, but do it in a way where you're going to have an outcome that you figured out, right? It may not be to have a unit like this, or it may not be, you know, there's some things in health that might be out of our control, but at least you've found that seed out of that obstacle, that is that opportunity, and to make it something. So let's go to a different question that's a little bit, I would say, not so serious, or maybe it's real serious, talking to a Cajun here. What's your favorite protein, your least favorite protein, and why? Just in general.
If you got a brass tacks, my most favorite and least favorite would be the ever elusive brisket. You know, there's such a wide range. I don't worry too much about the Wagyu stuff, but a very tiny percentage is prime, and then a large gap of percentages of choice. And you can go buy a spectacular choice brisket and go back to the store the next day and get another choice brisket, but that one's on the grade a lot lower. So this brisket may not come out as good as this brisket and the choice ones. And you get aggravated with it, not so much concerned about the cost. So chickens are easy because you can put that anywhere. And sausage is easy.
Yeah.
Ribs are fairly easy when you learn how to do it and you get into your own groove and figure that out. But the paradox with which is the challenge, of course, is extremely expensive nowadays. You know, like I said, back when I was younger, we would go to the store, and as we all know, the chicken wings and the brisket were at the very back of the counter, because that was basically the trash food. And as we all know, everything has reversed itself, and briskets nowadays, even choice, you know, they drop $75 or $100 on a 15-pound piece of meat and potentially screw it up, which you can always make chili with it,
Sure.
but it's not going to be what you were initially going for. It ruins your 15, 18, 20 hours of time, and it's a miserable feeling because nobody wants to fail after working that hard, and nobody can eat it because it doesn't come out that good. But you're always wondering why I did identical with the other brisket and it came out okay. So I always ask people, unless you can see your choice and look at the marbling, your best bet is, I know it is hard, tough times financially, but if you can, just pull a prime. Even if it's a smaller prime, you know you're getting that 3 or 4%, that's that window for prime briskets. So the marbling should be there after you trim it. Keep that trim, make some delicious hamburgers, get some of that fat, render it while you're smoking. There's a lot of different variables to it. But a high percentage of time, that brisket should come out pretty good on average. So that's the paradox, my best and worst protein.
Hey man,
But I'm Cajun, we eat anything.
yeah, I mean, you know that brisket can be your favorite and the brisket can be your least favorite. I think we all know that. If any of us have had any type of experience cooking brisket, we all know that it could be your favorite and it could be your least favorite. So, you mentioned what we put on the back of the pit was La Trouvaille, right?
Yeah.
Saying
La
that right?
Trouvaille.
La Trouvaille. And I looked it up and you told me the meaning of it, but I know there's a little bit more backstory behind it. Could you tell me something about, was it your grandmother or?
My grandma, Hilda, her maiden name is Dumas, so her side of the family, Aunt Lemma, who's my great aunt, they had a little house that she would cook for, and I think it was only open maybe on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And it was just a very specific amount of food they make: red beans, some meat products, but it was on those 3 or so specific days, and that was it. Unfortunately, as time goes by, the Dusenberry side of the family, they were wonderful folk singers that traveled all throughout Europe back in the day. A large family, beautiful vocals, beautiful voices, and so that's the La Trouvaille was the name of her their little cottage house south of Houma. That was a restaurant that many people would come visit, and it was on a tour, if I'm not mistaken. I was just a little bitty kid back then. The tour buses would go to it, and the whole family was involved in making it work. But as with anything, times change, and no longer the house exists, I believe. But that time has come and gone as far as a restaurant style.
Well, you know, the cool thing is, and I love that story, you know, because now you got your year. And you got that on the back of it that says La Trouvaille. So when people find you, the way that they would find your grandma, you know, and she would cook, they're going to have, it's going to be a good find, right? So I really like the story behind that. And you know, and every pitmaster is different. They'll put different things on it, whether they just want to name the pit, but there's always usually a story behind it. And a lot of times we just tend to look at it like, oh, cool, okay. And if you know what that word means and you interpret it, okay, a good find, that's neat. But there's always something just a little bit more. Well, Mr. John Shutts, that was a great interview, man. You definitely gave us a little more insight just into yourself and what you do and what you're looking for. But I do have one last question, and I know I sent you some questions, but this is the last impromptu that I do like to ask people. And what is your goal, or what are you going to accomplish?
Right?
Yeah, whatever. But you know, with this pit, with going home, with life, with just
the pit I got made for my friends and family. We all like to cook both of us. So a lot of the guys I'm friends with, they can't wait to use it. We'll be doing something next weekend. My family's interested today, but they're not into it like I am as far as that. But other than that, I'm trying to wake up every morning.
there you go. And that's, man, that's a great goal.
And push it through every day.
You know, my father-in-law asked me a question the other day, and he says, "How'd you wake up this morning?" I said, "On this side of the grass."
That's right.
Right?
60 up.
Yeah. Mr. John Shutts, man, I appreciate your continued support of our business and what we do here and what we're trying to do. Yeah, second time buyer, man. How about that? And, you know, guys, I tell everybody, we fabricate smoker pits, but what we build are businesses. And on that same token, we also build relationships. You know, and we want you to be part of the PRM BBQ Co family. You know, we plan on being here and providing you with whatever you may need, barbecue, cooking, advice. I'm always giving advice for free. It was given to me. People helping me out. I only feel as my duty to do the same. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, guys, please think about doing so. We're going to be having these interview series with the pitmasters, getting to know them a little bit, asking different questions as the episodes go by. If you find yourself needing a smoker pit, let us help you out, guys. If you've got the will and the skill, but not the dollar bill, let my banking partner square you up. Let's get you a smoker pit, man. We want you to be successful in whatever you do, whether it be cooking for your friends and family, cooking for a business, doing pop-ups, catering weddings, whatever it is. We want to be a part of it, guys. Anyways, we appreciate y'all. Don't forget, everybody, we are your prime barbecue company. Peace.